Good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Ashton, owner of Lecco Coffee, chair of the Fair Employment Wage Board. I thank everybody for being here today and joining us on the steps of Public Auditorium. Gathered here in this lead up to Labor Day to highlight the important work being done in the city to protect the dignity of labor. Fair Employment Wage Board is working hand in hand with many organizations, some of which are able to be here today to join us, alongside the city of Cleveland to step up enforcement efforts on both the Fair Employment Wage Law as well as the recently passed wage theft law. Our board members, Bishop Eugene Ward, Kate Warren, Helen Quinn, Camilo Villa, John Hodge, Councilman Danny Kelly, and myself are really pleased with the effort, due diligence, and care put in for the benefit of the workers of Cleveland. We actively are working out details of receiving notices of employers who are covered by this law, as well as reaching out to workers who are covered to ensure they are paid the $15.85 required by the law. We're appreciative of both Mayor Bibb and City Council for their willingness to stand up for workers at a time in which the state and the federal government are turning in the exact opposite direction. It is commendable that they would stand up for those in need in these trying times. As the owner of Lecco Coffee, I can see that these laws not only help workers, but high road employers as well. By ensuring a living wage to all who work for me, I see greater employee retention and people able to give their best efforts at work because they're taken care of as human beings. It's very exciting to see a city government that has the same values. I truly believe we will see an improvement in the welfare of all Clevelanders when assistance is given to those that need it most. With that, as another representative of the board, I'd like to ask my vice chair, Bishop Eugene Ward, to come forward and say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the mayor, to the president of council, and to all of those who are sharing with us today, we are thankful today that Mayor Justin Bibb has made it a major part of his agenda and platform to make sure that workers are getting the fair wage that they need to receive in the city of Cleveland. This board has been together for over a year, and yet this mandate on the legislation from City Council has been on the books for over 20 years. And now we're ready to work and move forward to try to make sure that people who have been disadvantaged in this city are able to receive a fair wage when they are working for businesses and those individuals who receive contracts here in the city of Cleveland. The time is gone now for people to live in Gates Mills and their workers only being able to live in impoverished conditions. The time is over for individuals to continue to have great wages while their employees are doing their best to live from day to day and are living from paycheck to paycheck. We're thankful to Mayor Bibb as he continues to push this issue forward so that the people of Cleveland can make sure that when buildings are erected, when structures are made a part of this city skyline, when businesses continue to progress in this city, that they are going to be able to take care of their families, take care of themselves, and take care of their rent as well as their mortgages, and take care of food that needs to be put on the tables of their wives and their children. That day is over. It's a moral issue now that we must continue to look and make sure that we are taking care of each other. I'm thankful that we have a mayor who is trying to make sure that all of us are working together. I've always learned early in my ministry, Dr. Matthews, that Israel always had a great relationship with the Father, but that they realized they wanted to be blessed, but they did not want to be a blessing. It's time for the city of Cleveland to be a blessing to each one as we continue to profit, as we continue to share. And with that, I want to introduce to you the 58th mayor of the city of Cleveland, Mayor Justin Bibb.
Thank you, Bishop, for taking us to church this morning. First, I want to just thank Matt and the entire board for their leadership and making today possible. Give them a round of applause if we can. big fan of Let Go Coffee, by the way, some of the best damn coffee in Cleveland. This work is personal for me. I am the grandson and the son of grandparents and parents who got their shot to be a part of the middle class because of good union jobs. And as we recognize that wage inequality, poverty, and income inequality still is a major problem in this city, this commitment to reconstitute this board with the great leadership of our council president, Blaine Griffin, and city council, in collaboration with the men and women of labor, made this possible, as well as our faith leaders made this possible. And as Matt and Bishop talked about, as we see these attacks on workers in Columbus, we see these attacks on workers coming from our federal government, Cleveland must and will always be a model of progress, a model of unity, and a city that fights for labor and fights for the middle class. So I'm excited about the work ahead. And as we prepare for this Labor Day weekend holiday and we prepare for our parades and barbecues and spending time with our families, let's not forget, it was the men and women of labor who gave us paid time off. It was the men and women of labor who gave us a 40-hour work week. The backbone of this city and the backbone of this great nation was built on labor, so let's thank them for their contributions this Labor Day weekend and every day after that. So with that being said, I want to bring to the stage our fearless leader of Cleveland City Council, Council President Blaine Griffin. Blaine.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Come on, this is a great day. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hello to the men and women of labor. Let's give the men and women of labor a round of applause. As we approach Labor Day, I can't thank you enough for all of the work that you do to make our communities thrive every single day. This is a proud moment for me for various reasons. It's a proud moment for me because as citizen Blaine Griffin, back in the early 2000s, I sat around a table with business leaders as well as labor leaders like my good friend John Ryan, who's one of my friends and mentors that is here today. And we sat down and we crafted the Fair Employment Wage Law. As a citizen, I was active in really trying to help advocate for workers. So to see this lie dormant for 20 years and now be revived under the leadership of the Mayor Bibb administration and Cleveland City Council is a great day for me and a proud moment. So I want to say this. We listened as the administration and council to citizens. Residents and workers, I see members of the Carpenters Union, brought an issue to us today, that brought an issue to us a few years ago that said, hey, we have wage theft and payroll fraud going on in the city of Cleveland. As we heard more from the Guardians of Fair Work and others that really came to us, we listened to the workers and to the people who were experiencing these things, and council moved to act. And we passed the baton to the administration, which now is enforcing all of these laws that we have put in place in order to make sure that fair wages and living wages are going to help build up the middle class in the city of Cleveland again like it should. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we have to understand that workers in the city of Cleveland are under a tremendous amount of assault. From the federal and state level, there are people trying to eradicate workers every day. And oftentimes, it's people that are very wealthy that don't want to share in the prosperity that they are getting with the workers. I see Yanela Sims here today from SEIU. Workers that are janitors, that anybody that knows, if you really want to know what's going on in Cleveland City Hall or any building in any of these skyscrapers, you better get to know the people that clean those buildings. So we understand how important it is to really make sure that we protect workers' rights, and we understand how important it is to enforce all of these laws that we have in place. So once again, the people spoke, council and the administration listened, and now we're here today with a new Fair Employment Wage Board that's going to really, really ramp up their enforcement on workers' rights. So on behalf of Cleveland City Council, my colleague who I rely on for labor advice on a regular basis because he is a working man himself, Danny Kelly is here with us today. Let's give Danny Kelly a round of applause if we could. And to all of the board members, thank you so much for serving and taking on this task to make sure that we have workers' rights in the city of Cleveland that are protected. Thank you so much, everybody.
I'd like to introduce Molly Bryden, researcher at Policy Matters Ohio.
Thank you. Policy Matters Ohio is a nonprofit, nonpartisan research organization working to build a more vibrant, equitable, sustainable, and inclusive Ohio, engaging communities to build worker power and addressing other issues to make our communities a better place to live. Policy Matters has been a longtime advocate for a proactive Fair Employment Wage Board to enforce Cleveland's Fair Employment Wage Law. When the city first passed the law, Cleveland's Fair Employment Wage was set at $8.20 per hour, just over half of what it is today. After hovering at $10 an hour since 2006, Cleveland's living wage is now set at $15.85, thanks to City Council's 2023 amendment to raise the wage and index it to inflation to help more Clevelanders meet their needs, support their families, and keep up with the rising cost of living. In the first several years of its implementation, 100 city employees received a pay boost due to the law, and more than 8,000 workers, including those in the service sector and at employers who received financial assistance from the city, saw wage increases. Now, with the addition of the cost of living adjustment, the board's enforcement of Cleveland's Fair Employment Law has the power to be transformative, guaranteeing fair wages and stronger protections for even more Clevelanders covered by the law today. It's refreshing to see revived efforts to build progress towards a local economy that works for Cleveland's working families. Community leaders are putting workers first through legislation like Cleveland's Fair Employment Wage Law, the Wage Theft Ordinance, and the Pay Transparency Law, all of which will have a bigger impact thanks to recent momentum behind Cleveland's Fair Employment Wage Board. We applaud Cleveland's renewed commitment to ensuring Clevelanders receive fair, family-sustaining wages that enable our communities to thrive. Now, with a fully staffed and operational board, Cleveland is making sure these protections are enforced so our neighbors, the workers who keep the city running, can take home their fair share. I'm proud to introduce Brian Pearson, the head of North Shore, Greater Cleveland's Federation of Labor.
Okay, good morning. Thank you, Molly. My name is Brian Pearson, and I am proud to lead the North Shore AFL-CIO. We're an organization made up of 80,000 union members across Greater Cleveland from nearly 150 local unions, and I see a good handful of those unions here today. At the AFL-CIO, right now, we're organizing and mobilizing and building real power for workers, and that doesn't happen without the support of pro-union lawmakers like the folks standing behind me. As Labor Day approaches, I think it's fitting that we pause and recognize the steps that the City Council, the Mayor, and the Board have made to support workers and raise labor standards here in Cleveland. These actions are commendable and a positive sign for workers across our city. Labor Day is also a time to recommit to the work ahead, to the fight for workers' rights. And we stand ready to work with the board and city leaders to ensure that workers covered by these laws understand their rights and that those protections are meaningful in practice through effective enforcement. Union or non-union, our goal is simple here. Every worker should be valued, respected, and treated fairly. Now, right now, and it's been said by a few folks across the country, and including here in our state, workers are facing unprecedented attacks. In terms of the labor movement, it's the largest attack on unions in American history. That makes the work here in Cleveland all that more important. We have an opportunity to show that that this city truly values its workers, and what that looks like when we can ensure that the promise of these laws is realized for everyone that they are meant to protect. So I look forward to continuing our partnership with the board, city leadership to strengthen workers' rights and ensure every worker enjoys the dignity and fairness that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for speaking today, and thank you for coming and being a part of this press conference today.